Kush Films.
Yes, sir.
Marlon, you're the founder, and I'm glad to be sitting here with you this afternoon because we've done various different articles over the years highlighting what you're doing with Kush Films and stuff like that. But there's a lot of people that don't know the journey, don't know what prompted you, a former party, rave organizer, promoter, to foray and transition into that world. So I guess top question would be, tell me about Kush Films and the organisation, their role in the UK film space.
Okay, Kush Films was started in 1998 by myself. As you said, I used to be, like a lot of the youths out there nowadays, on the road. Let's be a road man, a regional Broadwater farm youth, Tottenham. You know, I grow with some of the bad men out there. I just kind of left the road and decided to do something else with my life. Cut the story short, and basically decided to, because I used to keep raising, as you said, used to keep raising dances and that sort of stuff. So I used to be known as Marlon Brando back in those days, keeping a lot of big dances in Tyson Street, Ruby Centre, places in East and North London. So I went into the film business. It seems like, as I found out later in life, that I had a passion for film. So, which I didn't even realize at that time. I mean, I knew that I like films, like Bruce Lee films, I like Kung Fu films, I grew up with all that stuff. But I didn't realize I had a real passion for it. And it's only maybe years later that I kind of almost transgressed, in a sense, went back and remembered. Because people used to ask me, why did you start Kush? And for years I couldn't even answer them, I used to say it was the man upstairs, just took me from one thing, took me off the road and gave me something new to do. And it empowered me to bring a new form of entertainment to black people, because at that time when I started it, these things are taken for granted now, and then everyone's talking about all these other people who are doing screenings. But when I started, there's only one other person doing screenings.
Who was that?
Truly, that was Mark Booth, Nubian Tales, a South London guy. But it was very kind of, to me, cliquey, and more for the people in the industry, film,
right.
Arty people, as I used to say, kind of thing. We're from road, we're from street. My thing is about glitz, glamour, and the masses. Get as many bums on seats as possible, and party and all that kind of stuff, and all that kind of thing. So, when we started it was totally new. No one was doing it. It was basically I created a job for myself.
Created a niche.
Yeah, I created a job for myself, so there was no guidance for me to say, okay, this is how it's done, or other people are doing it.
No blueprint.
Yeah, none at all. And even Mark Booth, as I said, it's a very exclusive thing that they're doing. It's South Londoners. I'm from North. We didn't go over them side. And it's very cliquey, as I said. So it was trial and error, and I just had a dream, and I just said, I want to do something different. I've got a knack of bringing people together, keeping parties and raves, and I know how to do that. I know how to make people enjoy themselves. So that was the key thing, because I've never been to no film school or I got no kind of film background apart from a passion for films. So my expertise really is marketing, promotions, in a sense, and getting bums on seats and understanding what makes people kind of tick, what they like and what they don't like. So,
So you started with no network at all in this industry?
No, and then the thing is, none at all. And the thing is, the worst thing was, which really did kind of get me down initially first, was that I had a lot of people knew me. People know me all over from when I was Marlon Brando back on the road and keeping dance and raves. I could fill out a place with 1,000 people. We used to do that all, Tyson Street, all them places, jam out places. But when I went in the film business, none of those road people, street people, dance people, we want to call them, came and supported me.
Right.
None of them.
So you had to build a new audience.
All they were saying is that we saw Marlon back in that day dance. Don't worry about that. You know what I mean? Because people thought it was a stupid idea. When I said I'm going to promote black films, people said it was stupid. Black people are not going to support that. Black people are not going to come and watch black films in cinema. No one believed it, and even just to get a cinema. No one had any belief in that, believe me. Even my great uncle, as you know, my uncle, Sir Jeff Palmer, up in Scotland, knighted by the Queen, big time. When I told my uncle about it, he said to me it wasn't going to work. I'm 22 years later, I'm still here. I'm still the main man for black films, regardless, bar none. So, I'm still here doing my thing.
Kush, where was the name come from? Why Kush? I mean, I think I know, but talk to me.
Kush, yeah, again, that was part of my part of me leaving the streets, and that was a part of me basically finding my identity as a black man, as a real black man with knowledge and understanding, a higher understanding, and basically that's a whole other story as well. But in the last days of being on the road, there was a lot of things kind of happening out on the streets, and this is when the drugs kind of was proliferating everywhere, and a lot of my friends would end up going in jail and people cracking out and things like that. And I kind of started messing about with it. I used to drug later as well, and
Crack.
well, it's more initially cocaine, powder,
so
powder, class A. Class A. So, and then it was, it was the crap. But I didn't really. That's what saved me. I didn't really go down that route of the madness route. It was more of a party thing, and for years I used to make money from it, basically. But then, in the last days, started messing about with it myself, but didn't realize I had to change my life. So I kind of I left the road and I actually went to I got baptized. A friend of mine took me to church, and I went to church for about a year and started all again. But the reason where Kush came from was it was a Bible. This Bible is a black Bible. It's called the African Heritage Bible, which I still have on my bed to this day. My sister Denise, thank you, she gave me a Bible. To help me move forward in life and to leave some of the past sins behind. So in this Bible now, it's the King James version of the Bible, but it had a lot of knowledge, deep knowledge about the black presence in the Bible, right, and the black history.
That was a focal point.
So this is where I started to learn about the Kushites, as people will know about know them as the Nubians. So some people, there's a lot of people nowadays, they see Kush Films and they think you're talking about weed or something to do with weed. I got a bag of weed people following me on Twitter. I say, why are you following me for? This is an ancient Kush, ancient civilization.
But at least you're educating those people as well, though.
Well, yeah, you have to educate them because they think it's about weed.
They do.
So it was and that's where the Kush Films and what I realized was that we were once kings and queens, and everything I've been doing since I started Kush in 1998, May 1998, is to remind my people of who we are and to remind us that we're kings and queens, and that's how I carry myself each and every single day. Nobody can't tell me nothing. I'm not gonna have no Caucasian in the industry trying to tell me how to run my business, tell me how to where I go in this industry, and this is how I've got to be where I am to this day, because I just don't take no for an answer.
You also seem like a man who doesn't need the validation of that mainstream kind of voice.
Why would I need it? Yeah.
Well, given your area that you're focusing on, you don't need it, but there are other people who claim to be about black film who seem to seek that. I'm not saying that one's right or one's wrong. I have no opinion on that. My observation is that you've not needed it.
No, and I totally agree with you. I absolutely agree with you there. Again, like you say, I do agree with you, and I've learned to I've grown in life, so I understand each to their own, and you do your thing, I do mine. I may not agree with that thing, but that's what you're doing. I'm not going to put you down for it at the end of the day. As long as you're not bringing it to me or interfering in what I'm doing, or you're not trying to sabotage me where you're trying to sabotage me in what I'm doing. And this is what there's politics in this industry.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
And this is what's happened in the past, where people who are trying to be part of the establishment, who are trying to kiss butts, I think, then got in my way.
So this is I guess my question is, has that helped or hindered you? Because
no, it encourages me.
Right.
I like challenges.
Okay.
It drives me. So at the end of the day, these things just drive me on. These things just spur me on. They give me more encouragement I like putting people in their place, especially if I think they're wrong. At the end of the day, I like to prove people wrong as well, in a sense that you don't need to be kissing no ass, or sorry about the way I'm speaking, but
be yourself.
You don't need to be bowing down to these people who supposedly have the power. At the end of the day,
supposed gatekeepers, I guess.
Yeah, the gate. Well, I don't deal with gatekeepers. That's the problem.
That's probably why you've not sought any validation from anybody. If you don't,
this is the issue. This is the issue. A lot of these people are dealing with the gatekeepers. I don't talk to gatekeepers. Gatekeepers have to call me Mr. Palmer. And they always have to call me. Sometimes, I might buck a gatekeeper name, Marlon Palmer. I stop them in their track. Mr. Palmer, let me speak to blah, blah, blah. Because I'm the boss of my company. I'm speaking to the boss of your company. So whether it's Sony Pictures, Warner Brothers, I talk to the top people then. At the end of the day, many of them I actually know personally because I've been in the industry for so long. So I've actually grown with them. So the head of sales for 20th Century Fox used to be my mentor at Cineworld. And I can call these people directly or send them emails directly. They may not all like me, but they have to answer me. They have to respond. They might say, oh, bloody hell, Marlon Palmer, you still here? But they might have to answer because they know I'm going to persist.
What are the core functions of the business?
The core functions of the business is obviously exhibition, screening films. That's how everything started. Creating a platform, which is the UK's longest running platform for urban black films, the Kush Film Boutique, formerly the Kush Film Club. Also marketing and PR. So we do marketing PR for new film releases, as well as mainstream, as well as independent film releases. Also now distribution. I moved into distribution, and far as I know, I'm one of the only black men in the UK and maybe even Europe to be involved in distributing films. Basically, everyone else is sitting there waiting for other people to give them films or bring their films come. We are distributing films. We distributed the film Sprinter last year. Also, we first initially dabbled in distribution with my good colleague Melik Shabazz when we did his film The Story of Lovers Rock in 2011. In 2011 I also did a Jamaican film called Get a Life. I also distributed as well, and now we're moving fully into distribution. No holds barred. I'm going to control that. You
touched on the fact that you for a number of years weren't sure about why you even started Kush Films, but you clearly identified a love for films. So 22 years on, what part of the business do you love the most now? Yeah,
that's funny. I've been talking about that quite a lot recently, because right now it's like almost like everything, especially in regards to events. Maybe I should talk about the things that I do like, not the things that I don't like, because like leading up to events I don't like anymore. The thing that I've always liked is being at. I'm an exhibitor at heart. Right. So the thing I've always liked is actually standing in the cinema, at the back of the cinema, a crowded cinema. You got a film on, and you can hear the people, and you can hear them whether they're laughing or they're crying or they're moaning or they're groaning or whatever. Just hear that, you just understand the power that you have, and you're giving that enjoyment, you're giving that spectacle to the audience, and they're coming out after and they're saying, well done, Marlon, keep up the good work. And especially the applause, the encouragement, the motivation I get from black women, that's always kind of driven me on, and that's really given me the most encouragement, and I suppose that's the thing that I enjoy the most, really and truly. I mean, everybody wants to do the glitz and glamour thing. To me, that is all. We were doing that when we were 18 years old. We come from road, that's what we were doing. I've always been wearing big hats. Everybody know me. I was called Marlon Brando before I even went in the film business. So, we were wearing nice clothes and looking good and drinking champagne and all that stuff. We were doing that years ago. So all of this stuff, to me, nothing to me now. So, and there's many times I'm working on a film release and I'm doing PR for a film, like when I worked on the film Selma. And I'm all dressed up. I'm working, but I look good. I got my big hat, and then like the white PR company now is looking at me and saying that they're looking at me funny and saying, he thinks he's one of the celebrities, or what's he doing? I'm more glamorous than some of the celebrities who are coming out. Basically, the way I look, and it's just this is the way it is. The glitz and the glamour that don't meeting all the celebs. I meet them out, and to me they're normal people, and that's how I treat them. The people who are celebrities to me are the people who come and support me. So I treat my audience like celebrities. I have a lot of personalities, some celebrities who come to my events, and I would try my best to try and look after them and things like that. But I'm not going to treat them way above my audience. My audience is the one who sustained me, who supported me, who've been there for me. I've got people who've been supporting me for 20 years in becoming to Kush. Those are my celebrities.
What's exciting that you're working on now, and over the years, what's been the biggest opportunity that you've got, and what's been the biggest opportunity that you've lost or missed out on?
I'll start on missing out because I don't think there is anything.
No.
Everything. Sorry. You mean within in life in general, or
whatever you think is a missed opportunity? Because business-wise, I take it you've seized everything that's come your way. So
I have. I think I have business-wise, but there's still a lot more that I know that I could have done.
Right.
And I know, especially over the last few years, I've kind of just, and as I've been saying this quite a lot this year, and end of last year, to been saying to people, look, I've just been going through the motions in the last couple of years. It just kind of, I kind of got a bit, I don't know, I suppose life kind of got in the way. Not young anymore, getting a bit older. And
how old are you?
Boy, older, you know what I mean? Mature, that's the word.
Say no, boy, you look good for your age, however old it is.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, mature. I'm in my 50s.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
I'm in my 50s.
So you were, so you were good. You were saying.
Yeah. So
you grabbed everything.
That's why I'm trying to hit the gym right now because all I can see is Ashley Waters and all these other guys
inspiring people.
Yeah, on the phone, everybody looking hot and muscular. I said, boy, I gotta hit the gym, boy. You know what I mean?
But that's good. That's positive.
So, well, I mean, yeah, the Kush I'm planning big things for this year, so I do need to hit the gym because I'm just people think if people think I'm done, I'm just coming right now. And this is the new legacy, the next 10 years, which I'm looking to build now. I'm looking to step aside, focus more on the distribution side of things, hand over the film exhibition side of things, the film club and all that sort of stuff. Let some younger, new generation, new energy, let them run that. Take it onto a whole nother level and
what does that look like?
Tap into the younger audiences.
What does that look like? Have you got a protege already that you want to?
No, I haven't.
Has that been harder to find?
Yeah, it's always been hard to find. Right. Always, because I've never ever found. I hardly ever come across young people who say I want to be a film exhibitor or film distributor, or even want to own a cinema.
Do you think they think like that though?
I don't know. I just find a lot of the young people want to be celebrities,
right? So
they want to be actors.
They want to be the guy.
They do. They want to be the actor.
Yeah.
They all want to be actors, or they want to be rappers, or they want to be the guy who's getting the attention. Nobody wants to put in that hard work and the grind, and be the guy that is, well, actually making the money. The man that's controlling things. We tend to want to create stuff. We're very creative. We want to make stuff, and then what do? We give it to the white man. To control it,
or we give it away.
He gives us the chump change, and he makes the real money out of it. But then he also controls it, basically, because we don't want that responsibility. We don't want the responsibility of having to do more work with it or whatever. We just want that one-time thing, get the payoff, and we're gone about our business, which I don't understand. So I've never met a young person. I've just met someone this week.
Right.
Last week, a young lady's called me up, who's actually at the National Film and Television School, who's actually doing a two-year course on film distribution, marketing, and exhibition.
But that's not a normal thing for you, though.
No. Well, even when there was not up until maybe recently. I don't know how long it's been now, but there wasn't even such a course like that.
Right. Okay.
When I first started, you couldn't find out how to do distribution. It was a closed, it was a secret thing. It was almost a secret thing controlled by the Jewish people who control it. Basically, it was a closed shop. I had to learn. I know distribution through years and years of
being in the job.
Yeah, and doing exhibition. Exhibition is almost is an extension of distribution, but distribution now is when you can actually sit there. You're not actually screening the films yourself anymore. Yeah. You can actually just call up cinemas and you can put it in 100 screens or 200 screens or whatever, basically. So yeah.
Wow, time's flying.
Yeah.
I knew this would happen.
I know.
I knew this because 20 years in the industry is we're not going to do it in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But I really want to get some things, highlight a few things.
Okay.
So in terms of the digital market, how's that impacted on what you do? Has it impacted on what you do? Has it helped, hindered?
Greatly.
Go on.
But then again, because of where we come from with old technologies and doing it just I started when email.
It's a long way.
When email started, that's when I started. Now it's just made it easier for me.
Right.
It's just made it more easier. But also the problem is everything's just kind of got convoluted in a sense that you're trying to get your voice heard because it's just too much noise.
Saturated.
Yeah, it's just saturated, and people's attention span is just not there anymore. So it's hard. But obviously, if you can get people on your database, as we do, we've always had a database, then you can speak directly to people. But so it makes it easier to reach out to a far wider group of people, but to actually lock in their attention, that is the key thing at the end of the day. I mean, it helps that we get big films, that kind of helps as well, but it's kind of getting people to understand that it's not just about the film, it's about what we do.
The mechanism.
Yeah, and also getting the right people who are coming to support what I do as a whole, not just coming to watch the film and you don't give a damn after that. So you get some of that, but it's finding that core people and who want to take out membership. We're going to try and come as often as possible because we love what you're doing. We want to support you. So that's what I'm kind of looking for. So the digital thing, it does help. It's good.
If you had a magic wand, my friend, how would you impact the game so that the next 22 years are a lot easier than your last 22?
Something we spoke about, but I suppose I'd wave the wand and bang, I'd educate all the young people out there now who think that short films was only invented 5 years ago. All the young people who think that Rapman's film, Blue Story, is the first gangster film or first urban street film or whatever. I'll educate them so they then have the knowledge to be able to build upwards and stop going around in circles. And that's what we keep doing as a people, because the knowledge is not being passed down. So it's about knowledge and understanding, because again, also the other key thing is the industry keeps playing the same games with us, and we're not learning because we just keep going around in circles. And the information, the knowledge of what's gone before, everyone who's fought before, all the filmmakers who had to fight 20 years ago, that knowledge is not being passed down to the guys who are out there now. So it's just the same thing happening over, same cycle. So if I had that is what because to me knowledge is key.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So I guess knowledge itself will help us to address things like what happened at the BAFTAs. Really, where hardly anything that we did was recognised, if anything at all. So, again, I guess this falls into that conversation about validation. And I know there are people out there who have just, shunned what the BAFTAs are doing. We've seen it happen at the Oscars. But in your opinion, Marlon, do you think black people are respected more across the industry in their varying roles? I'm asking you because you're a person that deals with multiple stakeholders in the industry, so you'd probably have a better oversight than most.
I think we are, what's the word? We're accepted, also tolerated, also trying to find the right words. Also recognized in some places and with some status, but valued. That's the key word. I would say. I would say probably not as much as we think not as much as we think we should be. At the end of the day, I don't think we're valued at all.
Why is that?
I just think it's almost a psychological thing. It's not with us, with these other people who just think they're. I just think naturally these people think that they're on a different level. They're superior. Also, they're also frightened of us. Britain has always, as far as I'm concerned, from centuries, been a very xenophobic, country. And even America has got similar traits as well. But to kind of put us on, let too many of us rise up on a pedestal, I think it's scary for some.
Right.
So they try to control that.
So it's containment.
Yeah, it's containment. And then also I do think there is an element of ignorance as well.
Right.
That they just don't they don't understand or they don't know about our culture. They proclaim or think they understand our culture, but it's a superficial understanding. It's not a real deep understanding of our culture and who we are. I've seen it so many times because obviously I do marketing with film releases where I'm sitting there with these white people in their offices who are controlling our black films, and believe me, I am astonished that, you know, and I remember one time working on a film where it's like a marketing manager really didn't understand the differences between Nigerians and like Jamaicans. You know, we're just black people as far as they're concerned. And I had to break it all down and understand the makeup of black people in the UK and understand that, you know, black British is different to Nigerian, different to Jamaican, and you know, Jamaicans are not going to, or Nigerians are not going to go and pay money to go to a mainstream cinema and watch certain type of films. Black British Nigerians would, because they're black British and as black British Caribbeans, but it's, you know, Jamaica.
So the nuance between them.
Yeah, and even just, you know, our culture differences.
Yeah.
It's like they don't understand this stuff. It's just black people, aren't we? We're just lumped into all one barrel, you know. That's what they don't understand this stuff. Some of them, some of them are ignorant, and you're surprised how many young people are ignorant as well.
If 2020 went perfectly for you, sir, what would happen?
2020, wow. I'd have my own venue at the end of the year where we're screening films. And where...
You've worked with so many, I'm surprised you haven't got that already.
Yeah, no,
you're responsible
right.
for opening the first, was it multiplex in Wood Green?
Cineworld, yeah.
Cineworld, yeah, that's right. You know, you've worked, when I look at the list of, you know, places that you've worked with over the years, it's impressive, sir.
Well, I'm the only one that has screened films all around the whole UK, and not only in London, but also in Birmingham, Leeds, Bristol.
And I don't want you to forget my question, by the way. Like,
so you might have to remind me what it is.
So if the year went perfectly. But in terms of you working with everybody, that's a feather in your cap. Yeah. In itself. And does that kind of consistency, does it make for a more confident people dealing with you more confidently? That don't come from your community, that don't necessarily understand you in the way.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Because you've been consistently there and elevating.
Exactly, and a bit of a nuisance as well. He's not going away, so they have to deal with me. Not only that, and then obviously, I'm just the way I come across, the way I project myself and my business, so they know they can't talk down to me. They can't, you know, they've got to value what I do, because when they look at it, they look at the track record. They see 20-something years still here doing this, and all the films, you know, nearly over 300 films that I've worked on, and also getting paid to work on by other companies, and then, you know, various marketing managers maybe recommending me to other marketing managers. They have to respect me at the end of the day. I mean, plus when I go and sit down with them and they're sitting in the room with me and they're seeing this man with gold teeth and things like that, it's like you do sit with them, and then they think, oh, this is they want to be cool. You know, they want to be cool. This is the cool guy. You know, he's not the film nerd or from film school. It's the cool black guy. And they start talking and and I have to laugh sometimes. And I say, yeah, I got you now. You know what I mean? Yeah, we start talking some big money now. But ultimately, this year to distribute at least this year, I'd say 2 films this year. You know, distribute 2 films this year. Have a venue of my own at the end of the year as well, and bring in a new team of young people to work with me to kind of take over the film screenings, and the film screenings are happening in London, possibly Birmingham, and who knows where else. You know.
All right, Marlon Palmer. Thanks for your time, sir. Kush Films. Where can people find you, Kush Films?
Kush Films, you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at Kush Films online, KUSH Films, FILMS online. And also, I'm on Twitter, I'm Kush Films on its own. And also Facebook, Kush Films.
This is going to be the first of a few, I reckon, that we're going to sit down and do over the next year or so. But yeah, thanks for your time. Really appreciate you coming down. Yeah,
thank you very much. As I said, we're looking for young people. Young people want to get in contact with us. I'll give you email, info@kushfilms.com. Please send us an email if you want to get into distribution, exhibition, marketing. Then, you know, I'm here to help you. It's about, you know, we want to uplift our youngers.
Keep paying it forward, my brother. Bless.
Thank you.